West Ham United, and you still have a lot of affection for the football club and the fans. Will the fans be happy this morning with the arrival of one Lucas Paqueta, attacking midfielder, coming in from Lyon in a club record deal worth up to 51 million quid? Before we get your take on that, our French football expert Julien Laurent tells us what they're getting in Paqueta.
I think it's an amazing signing because he's an amazing player. It's as simple as that. It's not every day that West Ham are going to sign the number 10 starting for Brazil. And now they have him. He's the starter number 10 for Brazil. He will start the World Cup as the playmaker for Brazil. And I think West Ham fans should be very excited and should be very happy. Yes, it's a lot of money, but he's worth every penny if obviously it works out for him. The one thing I would say is at times he's been inconsistent, but I think more in France because he was almost too good for the league, and I think he was too good for Lyon in a way. However, the other thing is West Ham will have to change the way they play. If you watch them on Sunday against Villa, Lucas Paqueta cannot play in a team like that. He cannot play in the Moyes team from last season that plays very minimalist football, a lot on the counter, didn't have much of the ball. Paqueta needs the ball. This is why he's so good. He's so good with the ball. His creativity level is out of this world. He needs movement around him. He needs the team to be built around him and the style of play to be built on him, with him. But he can't just be there and watch the ball going above his head all the time. So I think to make it work and really get the best out of Lucas Paqueta, West Ham and Moyes will have to evolve. I think they have the players for it. I think they can. It's a bit the same for Scamacca. Scamacca is not a target man per se. This is not what he does. He's much better on the ball, and he played in a Sassuolo team that played so well with the ball, like Lyon with Paqueta. So now I'm looking forward to seeing Moyes changing his style, changing the way this West Ham team will play, because now they've got bowlers. And with Paqueta, they've got the most ultimate bowler that they have in their squad. So they have to make it work.
Love Julian. He's an ultimate bowler. But they're going to have to change the way they play. What's your take on it, Trev?
Well, I've seen a lot of footage on this player. Very impressed. Really impressed. 2-footed, left-footed is his favoured foot, but left-footed, but right-footed, scores goals, both feet. Creative player, as we just heard Julian saying. Scores penalties, takes a penalty a little bit like Jorginho, scores with the ball in the air. Won the league in Brazil. Got a lot of successful in the final third, assists, goals. He's top draw. He really is. He's exciting. He's 25, just 6 foot tall. I think when you miss out on Jesse Lingard, who's obviously a creative like midfield player, you lose out on the boy Onana. What's that?
TikToker.
Yeah. You lose out on Onana. I think that was the big one because he went to Everton. I think he looks the real deal. But I think coming back and getting Brazil's number 10, Leon's number 10, I think it's a great sign. I think the fans should be excited.
What we know now is it takes West Ham spending up to £182.4 million. Scamacca came in, of course, from Italy for 35.5. This lad Naif Aguirre from Rennes, 30 million. Areola came in 10.5. And on it goes. Emerson Palmieri from Chelsea, 15 million. Now Paqueta's in at 51.3 million quid. Now, Simon, you're asserting they're having a go. You're asserting the other day that Sullivan, Gold and Brady do deals using invisible ink. Is somewhat left wanting this morning. Sometimes you do deals with carrier pigeon. Unfortunately, it's a blind carrier pigeon. 182 million. I mean, come on.
I mean, look. I mean, I bring back David Sullivan. Where's he gone? It can't be still there. I mean, 182. If these figures are to be believed, because I'm looking at some of the figures we've got here on some of the transfer fees, and they're not representative of what actually happened. Basuma wasn't bought from Brighton for 35 million with Tottenham, and Jed Spence wasn't sold from Middlesbrough for 20 million. They were
just
much
stick
less
to
than
West
that.
Ham.
Stick
to West Ham. They have spent, but not 182 million.
They have spent, irrespective of whether I'm 10% wrong or right. They have spent a lot of money. And I'm surprised they've spent as much money as this. I would suggest it coincides with the ownership model beginning to move towards the changeover, which I think is going to happen inevitably, which is the Czech guy that's bought in, I think will end up owning a football club. And I don't think you'd see this kind of spend if it would just been Sullivan and Gold. But credit where credit's due. The argument is going to be very difficult. It does not diminish my experiences of David Sullivan. It does not diminish most people's experiences of David Sullivan. It just proves the point in this particular conversation that they've spent money in this conversation.
What's ironic in all of this is he constantly tells me he's got no problem with you. And that you continually have swipes at him.
I don't have a problem with David. I have a problem with certain things that David and I have experienced together. And I have a problem with some of the things that David and I have engaged with together. And they're well written in this best-selling book that I wrote, if you want to read it again and learn. But the point is this, and the West Ham fans will have their own song to sing about it as well. Yeah. The bottom line is...
It's a statement of intent, isn't it?
Well, undeniably. If you've spent that amount, whether I can quibble about 10% either way, right? it is still it's bigger than your turnover. It's bigger than your income's going to be, or close to it, in terms of all your Premiership money's going. The bulk of your gate receipts money's going. Of course, you had the added benefits of playing a significant contribution to the European tournament and getting some extra revenue that you didn't budget from there. But that would not still equate to the kind of money you're spending here. So the West Ham fans, I don't know whether this fixes all the problems and whether it solves the problem they've got of scoring enough goals. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But David Moyes cannot be, in any shape or form, unhappy with the support he's been given.
No, which is the polar opposite to Scott Parker, ironically. I mean, this is a statement of intent, is it not? I mean, in terms of kicking on, Trevor, after a period of challenging the top six.
It is, and especially with the start that West Ham have had, because 3 losses, just got over the line with a win against Villa. I think that'll give the boys a lot of confidence. But when you look in that number 10 position, the players that have played in there, Pablo Fornals scored at the weekend, the winner, Lanzini, Benrahma, none of them out of possession have got a real amount of physical presence. Yeah. This boy comes in, he's 6 foot, he's a decent shape with that. So when you're talking about players pressing from the front and being effective at pressing and winning the ball back high up, I think he's going to be very good at that. Like I just said about his play in possession, both footed, scores goals with his head as well, really creative, plays one-touch football. It looks like he's going to be the real deal. Looks like he's the favoured choice, number 10 for Brazil as well, going to be going to the World Cup. So I think it's an absolutely brilliant signing. And
when you miss out, this is the biggie,
when
right?
you miss out on Jesse Lingard, I wasn't that bothered, because I thought he'd come in, done a good job. I'm not sure it's going to work again. I think Onana, like I mentioned earlier, I was disappointed to miss out on him for West Ham, because 6'4", physical presence. What I've seen of him at Everton looks the real deal. Yeah. But then coming back and getting Paqueta over the line.
So Simon, take us to the break then. What message of respect and admiration would you send to Sullivan Golden Brady this morning?
Well, I don't need to do that, because you blow enough smoke up their backsides. You can do it for me.
Well, you're all talking about it on YouTube and Facebook. The usual movers and shakers there. Certainly you're agreeing with us. People like Gaz Davis, Dave Cook, and the wonderfully named Rupert Butterpants. Do you think
that's his real name?
Gareth Rees in there as well. This is a statement of intent. Will it end up being a costly one? Well, who knows? But that's what they spent, West Ham. 182.4 million. Not bad. 11 o'clock.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.